Hello everybody, welcome to the Assetto Corsa Karting League, also known as ACK, and it's round one of the championship. And we're here at Daytona Sandown Park. This is a chance for drivers to come together for another season of ACK as we're back and we're bigger and better than ever before. And we had a few difficulties in the pre-season tests, but we have fixed a lot of those issues and we are here for round one. We are, of course, using the Pierligio Sodi SR4 kart. Once again, we thank you for all his efforts in trying to get it to the best it can be. But yeah, Daytona Sandown, 8 turns, 900 meters in length with a 7-meter width across the track. It's a very wide track compared to most. And it's in an interesting location, you know, in the middle of a racehorse field with great views around the track. But we're expecting some great racing today. Feel free to join the community. You can scan that QR code and you can join the racing community and join these races and all the action that takes place. But we are into the racing now. It's qualifying for the sprint race, what we're looking forward to for this first event, and it's a very interesting format. I'm gonna have to try and explain it because we've been speaking to a lot of drivers going into the season, and a lot of different opinions on how you should be running these races. But we've gone with a format that we feel is fair and rewards consistent drivers, and that starts with a Super Pole qualifying. They get just one lap on track to try and prove that they can start as high up the grid, and then we move into a 5-minute sprint race. Now, the top half of those drivers will go to an A final where the top points are scored, and the drivers who a bit more unlucky, may cause some difficulty, will fall into the B final. Now, in the B final, the top 2 drivers will in fact go to the A final if they can survive. So that's what we're looking for today. And we had a lot of difficulties in the preseason tests, but we feel we fixed a lot of those now. Things around Steam IDs, very sim racing issues. It was a difficult round because of that, but we feel this is going to be a fantastic first round of ACK. And I want to say thank you, of course, to Jan Lemons, Victor, Pierligio for the kart. Of course, Donica, who's streaming right now. Don't forget to support him. And of course, Adam Sherpitt, they've all put in so much effort into this championship behind the scenes. And for me to be the one commentating, it might always seem like that, but they're a fantastic group of people. They really care about trying to raise just the karting esports scene, because it's a relatively new scene as well. There's not a lot of people doing it at the moment. So, we're going to see a lot of interesting stuff from it. The racing, it's going to be very sim racy, but we're hoping to see lots of sort of real life representation racing as well. Hopefully respectful driving. So we're just waiting for the single lap qualifying for Group A to start. There are 2 qualifying groups, so we got 2 5-minute sprint races here, and it's a very, very exciting track to understand. It's based in the UK. It's got big support actually back home in the UK. They run a series called Super Champs, which attracts a lot of top drivers to that week in, week out to drive, and a lot of interesting racing there as well. And we see, also, in fact, we see tracks series like SRK, the Southern Rental Kart Series, also move to that track, and other champs as well, such as EKS. I will try my best to get towards the YouTube comments if you have any questions about ACK throughout the live stream. But we're focusing on the racing now. So in 50 seconds time, we will be going into the Super Pole qualifying. Now, there are a few rules for this qualifying. Of course, you've got to set only 1 lap. If you set more than 1 lap, then you're going to be disqualified from the session, or at least investigated. So actually, the drivers are out. Jan started the session early. We've got Jan Lemons actually officiating the race behind the scenes. Now, you don't have long to get around. You have about 50 seconds to think, where am I going to put my car at the moment as we go around the lap? Because once the first driver, which right now is Nico Titch, goes and starts his lap, and in fact he's getting overtaken, he's going to make that gap for himself. But once this driver in front, Jim Paris, once he starts his lap, all drivers have to have started their lap, otherwise they're going to cause issues. So, you expect at the moment Jim Paris to go pole, the previous champion of the series. So that's what we would expect, but you never know. There's so many new names on this list. Just looking down the list now, you got Jeff Fricker. He's driven this track in real life quite a lot, actually, so you'd expect him to be up there. You got Diego Ruivo. He had a fantastic performance in the preseason test and didn't quite make it. Harley Smith's been topping all the timing sessions all week, as Jim Paris is going to start his lap now. Nico Titch is going with him. These 2 drivers, 2 gold division drivers now. Will they come out on a 1-2? That's what they want. That's what they would want to do. We've got, looking down the order as well, we got drivers like Gabriel Quinta. Gabriel Quinta now a fantastic driver, of course, a Portuguese rookie as he's known around these parts, but he will want to get up into that top half. We got Hector, who had a fantastic recent test. Saeed Hassan, the creator of Formula Fast, he will want to do well. So we're waiting for people to come around now. Jim Paris is looking good in this lap, and Nico Tich is staying with him. Looking at the sectors now, Nico Tich is actually the purple driver, but is so close to Jim Paris is in front. So we're going to have to wait to see. Harley Smith's not very far behind either. As we're coming through, Jim Paris will be the first to finish his lap. He won the last season. He was the champion. He's going to be the first to finish his qualifying lap this time, as Diego Riva's actually going to start his lap. So Jim Paris is going to come across the line and set a 51.7. Nico Tich goes above with a 51.758. It's close to the top, but we're waiting for more drivers to come through now. Harley Smith goes third. Hector stays fourth. Gabriel Quinta the third. Fantastic from him. 51.9 should put him in the top half. Vito Montane only on the fifth, as Harley Smith goes fourth at the moment. We're waiting for more drivers to come through. Nico Tich still on top. Jim Paris is second. Gabriel Quinta in third. And we're still waiting. We've got Hector down in ninth at the moment. Saeed finishes lap, finishes 10th. Harry Power down in seventh, now dropping to eighth. Jeff Fricker up to sixth. Fantastic from him. But a 52.5 is not, it's not quick, but we'll see how it goes. We got more drivers coming across the line now. And we're waiting. Mikala goes 12th. Harley Smith still up in fourth. Gabriel Quinta still third. Jim Paris is though in second. That's a fantastic lap from him, of course. He was the first round the track. As Diego Ruivo goes to fourth with a fastest sector 2. What a fantastic lap from him. And that is all drivers round. So we have Nico Tich, who is on pole position, followed by Jim Paris. Jim Paris will be on the outside for the first lap. Now, that is an interesting thing for Gabriel Quinta. Can he pass Jim Paris and go up to second place and secure a spot in that A final? Looking down the order, we've got Diego Ruivo, another fantastic fourth from him. Harley Smith in fifth, who, you know, he did some great laps in the preseason test, but 52.0, he'll be disappointed with that. Vito Montane in sixth position. We've got Jeff Fricker in seventh place, sitting on the cusp of that A final. He will want to make the A final. I know Jeff Fricker personally, he will be determined to get up there. We got Neck in eighth, who's been extremely nervous all week so far about his performances, but, you know, eighth place, 52.6, fantastic from him. Harry Power must have made a mistake on his qualifying lap, because that is not representative from him, sitting down in ninth, and he will make his way up the order. We've got Watson in 10th. Now, Watson is a driver from Malaysia. You know, interestingly, a Malaysian driver. He's sitting on higher ping than most drivers. Now, that does make him a bit of an issue on track, but also, you know, a fantastic result from him. And further down the order, we got Saeed Hassan. Now, that is not a great lap from him. He will be disappointed with 11th position, but he will make his way up the order. Hector in 12th. Mikhail Flashenko in 13th. Looking to make his way up. Noah Sparks 14th. Beanward 15th. And that is your order for this race. So, we're just going to be waiting now for the final to start. We're now just, yeah, there's a timer at the moment, 34 seconds I got on my clock at the moment. That's what we're waiting for at the moment. So, who will win this race? That's the big question. Now, you don't want to risk it if you're at the front. You just want to make the A final, because that's where the points are scored. At the moment. And it seems like Jan is struggling to understand what the format is at the moment, as he's just got something wrong. Let's just checking in here. We are waiting. Pierre Ligier, interestingly, is on the track at the moment, but I don't think he's going to get a lap time here. It looks like he is going to start in last place. Unless he does. No, Pierre Ligier does. He just starts in sixth, so we were waiting for Pierre to finish his lap. Now, I'm not sure why Pierre has done that at the moment. And the server has disconnected. Not sure why that is. We will... I'm going to have to investigate this. Well, what we'll do is we'll go to a intermission. And... Oh, no, hang on. No. We have to restart. So, Jan Lemons. Are we going to go start with the whole qualifying? That's what I'm asking at the moment to Jan Lemons. We're asking... We're finding out now. Just a second. Hello, everybody. We are back. So we found out. I've been talking to Jan in the background at the moment, who's running the session, and we found out that there were issues on the server. So we're going to restart the event from the top, and we're going to run the qualifying for the first event now. That leaves a lot of drivers disappointed. A few other drivers would have been less disappointed, but if they've had issues, then you'd argue that it's only fair to let everybody have the same opportunity. You'd expect the top drivers, though, to also have the opportunity to stay at the top. So we are now waiting. We're going to get everyone in position, and hopefully Jan will immediately start the qualifying session once all drivers are in. So any questions about ACK in the chat whilst we wait? There's lots of interesting stuff to talk about with this championship. We've got a great calendar at the moment. Let's talk through the calendar, in fact. So we start out with Daytona Sandown, a fantastic track, but then we move to Sandown Go-Kart, a very unknown track to a lot of drivers. Maybe drivers on sort of the eastern side will know more about that track, but very much the western drivers will not know a lot. Team Sport Liverpool is round 3. Now, Team Sport Liverpool is a very interesting track because it's actually not that track layout anymore. It's changed the track layout since that time. So, yeah, Team Sport Liverpool is a track that it's going to be the old layout. It's going to be quite hard to sort of practice on if people know the real layout. Round 4 is South Garden. Now, South Garden is a fantastic track, and it's a track that provided a lot of good racing last year. So that's what I'm expecting to see. As we're still waiting for qualifying to happen here, drivers are joining in. We're up to 12 at the moment. We're just waiting for 5 or 6 more, and then we'll get underway. Round 5 of the championship will be a pit stop. I can't even. That's a difficult name to say. I'm not even going to say that. But it's at Novskaya is the way to put it. So pit stop Novskaya is for round 5, a track that I'm not familiar with. Round 6, of course, is at the Spa Karting, which was held for the pre-season test. Now, that was a fantastic track, and I think it'll be better once we run big grids on it. So, question in the chat of where you can find the mods. Now, to find the mods, you have to go on. You have a few ways of finding it. If you search for Pierligio Karts, or you check the description of this video, you'll be able to find it there. You can also join the Discord, and there will be a link there for you to purchase the mod. It is a paid mod. It's roughly translated into any currencies, but it's roughly £7 for the whole thing. And you get 3 go-karts with it, and listen, it's a fantastic mod. Pierre himself has put hundreds of hours into getting the car into the best possible way. So, it'd be greatly appreciated to support him and everything he's done with it. But it's fantastic. So you can find that on multiple sides. So we're still waiting on a few drivers. We're up to 15 now, though. So we have 21 drivers actually signed up for this split. So, if these drivers are not going to join, then it's their fault at the moment, unfortunately. That's not a problem we have. So we are waiting, and we want to get underway. So what else can we talk about whilst we wait? We have divisions in this league. We start with the gold division, where drivers such as Nico Titch and Jim Paris, they were just 1 and 2 in this session. Would expect them to be at the top again for this next one too. Adam Sherpitt, another gold driver. Pierligio, the mod creator himself, is a gold driver. Bill Tosnodis is a gold driver. Jan Lemons, who will be in the second group, gold driver. Ben Paynes is a fantastic driver, but unfortunately he is not here today. He is away. So we give our best to Ben, of course, and enjoy his holiday, and we'll see him for round 2. We got Baptiste van der Beek, who couldn't make it this week, but he will be back as well. And then Matteo Infanti, who was a championship challenger last season and finished by Nathan Maximum, a new name to the ACK, but we have heard some great things about him. So, qualifying has started, and all drivers are out. Now, every single driver trying to get out the pit lane as fast as they can. They want to get to the front of that field. So, where will it be? Where will it be on track? We're waiting for the drivers to go around. We got Harley Smith up front. Harley Smith he wants to set lap first. I don't think he's going to slow down here, but all the drivers are racing round, and you expect them to back off soon. Some of the drivers still not quite making out the pit lane. You can still see a couple warming up their tyres in the background. Does warming up tyres work, well, in real life, let alone in a video game? That's what we got a question. Harley Smith with the Australian flag, which is not true. He is a British driver, and he is going for the title this year. We do know that. And Harley Smith is not backing off here. He wants to be the first to cross that line to start his lap, and yes, it looks like he will start it. So we're waiting now for everyone to come round. Harley Smith will be the first driver to start his lap This is it now. This is the first laps of the ACK with everybody in this time. As Harley Smith will cross the line, we will keep an eye on this. Nico Titch will be the driver behind him. Jim Paris is the driver behind that. So Nico Titch and Jim Paris, two fantastic drivers to have behind you on your Super Pole lap. You'd hope not to make a mistake with that sort of pressure. But as we come through the first sector, Harley Smith, of course, going purple, but then Nico Titch has actually topped him there, and Jim Paris goes even faster. So we're going to see Jim Paris maybe going towards the top this time. Hector's pretty close behind, but we're going to have to wait to the end of the lap to see who comes out on top here. Now the pressure's on at the front. Harley Smith, he was 5th last time before we had to have the server restart. Will we see a better lap from Harley now? He has practice. He has done hundreds of laps of this track. As he comes around the final few corners, we're going to start to see some lap times now. Gabriel Quinter's 6th in the order. You're excited to see where he finishes. Harley Smith across the line, and he will set a 51.8 as Nico Titch comes across the line. Nico Titch is slower. Harley Smith to the top. Jim Paris is now to the line. Jim Paris goes to pole. Now Nico Titch, will that benefit him going to 3rd, starting behind Jim? Nico Titch off to 4th as Pierre Ligier goes 2nd. Fantastic lap from him. Hector stays in 5th. Gabriel Quinter to 5th. He'll be disappointed with the 51.9. As we got 2 more drivers across the line, and we're waiting. We're seeing down the order. Jeff Fricker still to come across the line. Oh, Jeff Fricker finishing, and Jeff Fricker. Where's Jeff Fricker? Goes 6th. Fantastic from Jeff Fricker at the moment. We're still waiting on a few drivers to cross the line here. And Mikala goes to 8th. Fantastic from Mikala. Diego Ruivo, though. Diego Ruivo, where's Diego going to go? Diogo goes 2nd. Fantastic from him as well. And that drops Pierre Ligier to 3rd. Harley Smith in 4th. Nico Titch, he will be disappointed. He was on pole, and now he is 5th. But that doesn't mean he won't make his way up the order in the final race. Now, all laps are finished. Saeed Hassan did not set a lap, but we believe he's in the server, so it looks like he will just have to start last for this race. Now, what will that mean for Saeed? You know, he wants to be in that A final. He has been in many A finals in the ACK before, so I'm not sure why he hasn't set a lap here, but we will expect more from him, I'm sure, in the race. With all drivers over the line, we're expecting the race to start anytime soon, and we want to see racing, but you know, it's gonna be one of those races. So at the moment, we believe it will be probably about 9th or 10th place to make the A final, and we're waiting. So ideal Hugo Charlier. Yes, these are ideal conditions for the track. The drivers have been practicing on the track for the whole week. So we're expecting to see very close racing because they all know the track. I mean, just looking at the top 4 there, you know, Jim Paris is at the 51.620. That's a fantastic Super Bowl lap. To do that in 1 lap, many can't even do in 100 laps around this track. So fantastic to see. But we're on the grid now. It's only 80 seconds until we kick off the first sprint race of the ACK season. As everyone's on the grid. They've got custom liveries for some of the drivers, so you can spot Jim Paris out there and Pierre Ligier as they have their own kart designs. And looking towards the back as well, you can see some other custom skins. Gabriel Quinter, of course, being one of them. Now, we've got to wait 50 seconds for the race start. We've given it a big gap, just in case a few drivers missed out on their qualifying. They can join the back of the grid for the race and make their way forward. But we did a few training races here, you know, over the last couple of days. And looking towards the front, a 2nd place is a very compromised position to be in, and 4th, as 3rd place will always get the inside line to the sweeping right-hander that is turn 1 of this track. Jim Paris will be very happy to be 1st place there, as he will get a perfect run. Harley Smith in 2nd place now is the compromised driver, and looking at Gabriel Quinter as well in 4th. You know, he's going to have to work hard for this. So, here we are waiting now for the start. So, the lights are on. We're waiting. It's going to be 6 red lights in ACK. It is 6 red lights, and we are away. And it's a slow south line. Looks like Jim Paris did get a good start, though. Pierre Ligier is going to go with him. Harley Smith trying to get in on the inside there as we're heading down towards the first corner. Fantastic to see everyone on the inside. It's going to be interesting going to this first corner. Keep it clean, everybody, please. As looks like Pierre Ligier survives in the 2nd. Fantastic. And Diego Ruivo is going to want to just keep with them now and just relax. As we go, it looks very clean through the inside. Very interesting racing at the moment. And Nico Titch goes with him. Gabriel Quinter surviving there in 5th. There's a few hits in the back. Saeed Hassan has joined the race, in fact, so he will be trying to fight his way through to the top half. As we see a great pull away from Jim Paris. Now, Jim Paris will just want to drive away from this, and I think Pierre would want to do so as well. Gabriel Quinta going defensive on Jeff Fricker down into turn 7. As Jeff Fricker wants to work with Gabriel Quinta here to get forward, to get to those front 4 and cause a bit of a challenge. Now remember, in these sprint races, there is no joker lap. It's just 5 minutes to the end. We're going to get about 6 laps of racing at the moment, as we're already down to 3 minutes and 55 seconds of racing. Jim Paris is now creating a great little gap out in front. As we look down towards the back now, we've got Beanwall. Beanwall go around the outside there, doesn't quite get it, as he gets held in place by Hector. Now, Hector looks like he is one of the drivers on the cusp at the moment of being in the B final. Don't forget, there is a chance in the B final to make it to the A final. So, there's all to race for. Harry Power there, just getting involved with Noah Sparks. Some fantastic race at the back. It's been so clean so far, and that is great to see. Now, let's go from the top. Jim Paris' leads from Pierre Liggio, the kart creator. He knows this car better than anybody else. Nico Titch in 3rd. He is setting purple sectors, Nico, so he is catching up. We've got Diogo Ruivo in 4th. Gabriel Quinta in 5th. Jeff Fricker in 7th. Now, Jeff Fricker will want to work with Gabriel Quinta, I'm sure. Harley Smith there in 7th position. Harley Smith did start in the front couple of drivers, and Harley Smith is actually up to 5th place at the moment. And the order is tumbling. Pierre Liggio actually has no. Jim Paris is still in the lead here. We're just looking down the order. Jeff Fricker now is in 7th. Harley has overtaken Jeff, as we got Mikala in 8th. And Jeff Fricker and Harley look like they are just switching positions there. Looking down the order, Harry Power goes for a move there, and look at that on the inside. That would be disappointing for that driver. I'm just trying to check who it is. But Saeed Hassan is up to 13th at the moment. And there's another dive down the inside there. He's trying to hold position. He's got to give space there, surely. Yes, he has. Fantastic driving from Noah Sparks as the driver in front holds on position. And I believe that is Beanwall. We got Neck in 14th. Neck, once again, he's been very nervous about his performances so far. But at the moment, as long as you can just keep it clean, keep it on the road, have a fantastic B final, then you will get the positions you want. 2 minutes to go in this race, and it feels like it's flying by as these drivers come through. Pierre Liggio has set the fastest lap with the 51.493 as Nico Titch following just closely behind, not too close though. In a safe 3rd position, he will start on the 3rd row of the grid with that position. So, we're on board at the moment with the drivers. Going to go down the inside here, surely. Are they going to show space to each other? Yes, they do. Playing it safe from Harry Power. Fantastic move there. And Harry Power, fantastic from him moving up the order into 10th as Hector is fighting. Hector's going to fight back there. Look at this. Down the outside, Hector back down the inside. Harry Power must have cooked out the corner. Harry Power, will he fight back? This is for the A final here. As Hector, now Harry Power does go down the inside there, but Hector's going to get a better run out of it. So yes, Harry Power has to hang out behind him for the though. We're 1 minute to go in this race. Jim Paris is leading, a 10th up on Pierre Liggio. Nico Titch in 3rd, Diogo Ruivo in 4th. Gabriel Quinta in a fantastic 5th place. Now, we're always putting Gabriel Quinta down here, but he looks like a top driver at the moment. Harley Smith in 6th, Jeff Fricker in 7th. Now, Jeff Fricker is on the cusp. It looks like 7th place will be enough for him as well to make that A final. Mikala Flashenko in 8th. We got Hector still in 9th, who we were just watching, with Harry Power in 10th. Saeed has made his way up to 11th, but it looks like he's going to have to try and win the B final at the moment, as he is running out of time to make it to that A final. Noah Sparks, the USI driver, in 12th. We got Bean Warden 13th, as we see some defending on screen. We see some defending at the moment. And now he's not going to get around the outside, going into first corner. Jim Paris is now, though, under pressure. You just know at the moment that Pierre Liggio wants to start that race on the front row. But don't forget, the lap time matters here. If Jim Paris cannot get a good lap time, he will start second for the grand final. And we'll see a driver from Group B take that pole position. So at the moment, they're taking fighting over their position on track. And what will it be? Nico Titch tries to go around the outside here. Will he get the switchback? It doesn't look like at the moment. Nico Titch, fantastic race for the front three here. They want to be on that front row. They want to be, but they're not. Jim Paris is going to come around the corner. Jim Paris, this lap time might be important. He did have to defend on this lap, but his best lap time is a 51.495. We will keep our eyes on that going into the next race. Jim Paris, though, it's the final lap. We're going to get another lap of racing here. Oh no, that is in fact the checkered flag. Jim Parsons does win. And fantastic from him. Fantastic win, 51.493. We're just looking at the rest of the order. Jeff Fricker looks like he's going to make the A final with that 7th place. Fantastic from him. His best lap time though, only a 52.2. I'll put him on the cusp. as we see some great racing there, honestly. And we're looking forward to seeing these drivers drive in the B&A final later on tonight. So that's all from this first sprint race. We will be back in roughly 5 minutes for the B sprint race as we see more drivers come to track and who can make that A final and join Jim Paris on the front row. We'll be back. Well, hello everybody. We're back for Group B, the split B, should we call it, for the sprint races. We will find out who is going to be joining Jim Paris on that pole position, and can he get a faster lap time than a 51.495 to start in pole position for the A final. Now, we've got some fantastic drivers once again in this race. We've got the Jan Lemmens, the organizer, the creator of the ACK. He will want to do the best he can with his series as he's seen it grow. We got Adam Sherbin. Adam Sherbin, fantastic driver, a French rental karting championship finalist. Now, he will want to do a great result here too. Jacob Eckrell in third. Jacob Eckrell is our fantastic PSR driver from the UK. Now, Jacob Eckrell did make the A final in the pre-season test. He will want to be up there again in this session. Now, we got more drivers here. We got David Roger, Bill Tusnodis, Igna 7. We got Igna, we'll call him. Peyton Fricker. Now, Peyton Fricker, another fantastic British driver who will want to do the best he can. In fact, his father is in the A final, Jeff Fricker. Will there be two Frickers in the A final? Will they start next to each other? That's the big question as qualifying gets underway here. Now, whilst this qualifying lap does go underway, let's talk about the ACK League. It'll be fantastic if you guys can share the ACK League with anybody you know. We want to grow the series. We want it to be a sellout every single week that we race. And it'll be fantastic if you could share the stream, join the Discord, get involved in the community as we look to grow it even further. Now, this little Adam Sherpitt is not messing around here. He wants to be in front for that qualifying. But yes, as I was saying, just speaking out of commentary, it'd be great if you could share the stream, share everything you know about this championship, and get people involved, because we want to see people race. We want to see people race and get involved and enjoy. So we have 14 drivers in this race, and at the moment we're going to find out who's coming across the line first. They all seem to be racing for position here as we see Hugo back off there, ready for the lap. We're waiting now. So coming across the line, Jarne Lammens will be the man to take us off as he starts his qualifying lap, followed by Adam Sherpitt. And we got Bill in third. Hugo Morales will start his lap in fourth. We're waiting now as the drivers come round. We will be watching the sector time, see who finished on top, who will join Jim Paris on that front row for the A final. So, coming round, we got a purple from Jan Lammens. Jan stays purple with a 17-0. Fantastic first sector from him. We're looking down the order. Nobody is matching Jan Lammens at the moment. He is out in front and he is dominating this qualifying at the moment as Igna actually goes faster. Igna now on a purple. A relatively unknown driver to the ACK. Peyton Fricker now into the 16 seconds for sector 1. We're waiting now. Peyton Fricker looking very exciting there. Can Peyton Fricker take a surprise pole position here in the ACK? He wasn't too far up the order last time, but can he be this time? As Jan Lammens now, where he will come across the line, he will set the tone. Now, Jan Lammens cross line with a 51.8, fantastic lap. Adam Sherpitt goes to the top of the 51.776, fantastic for him. Hugo Morales stays third, Bill stays down in fourth, Dennis comes across the line in fifth. We're waiting now. Igna goes to fourth despite the fastest first sector. We're waiting on Peyton Fricker though. Peyton Fricker was lighting at the timing sheets. Where can Peyton Fricker finish here? Peyton Fricker stays seventh. Despite the fastest first, he still has the fastest first sector. What a fantastic first sector, but he just can't match it. Looking where it went wrong, looks like the third sector, second and third sector both going wrong. But Adam Sherpitt still first. We're waiting for drivers to come across the line as qualifying is coming to an end here. So that's your order then. Looks like Adam Sherpitt is on pole position and he will want to win this race, followed by Jan Lammens. Jan Lammens talking to me before the race, he wanted to win this, so starting second, he's going to be on the outside as Hugo Morales starts in third position. Now, how will that work out? Igna, very new driver to the ACK, and he's starting fourth. Jacob Eckrell, who we were looking at, starting in fifth with a 52.0. Speaking to Jacob, he will be disappointed as well with that lap time. Bill Tusnodis in sixth. Peyton Fricker, now that is a disappointing story. He still has, and he has the fastest first sector. Now, it went wrong for him. It looks like, yeah, it is just a mix between the second and third sector where it just fell out of his hands. Now, if he can pull off a fast first sector, we're sure that he will make his way up the order in this sprint race. Mate Sheplo in 8th position. Now, Mate did really well in the preseason test and he will make his way up the order. David Roger, an ACK regular, there in 9th position. Dennis Onkamonis in 10th position. We got Zach in 11th. Danny Chu. Now, Danny Chu made the A final in the preseason test. A fantastic result. Danny Chu will be disappointed down in 12th position. Victor Stanchev in 13th, he'll be disappointed. As we see, Georgi Ilev did not take part in qualifying, so he'll start from the back. So will Georgi Ilev make his way up the order in this sprint race? As we're on the grid, it's 55 seconds until we kick off the second sprint race of the ACK, and we'll find out who goes on the front row with Jim Parasis. Checking YouTube comments. Jeff Fricker, he hit the outside wall in the last turn. That's bad for Peyton. Unlucky. Very unlucky from Peyton Fricker there. He was on for a great lap, but he will make his way up the order, Peyton Fricker. I'm very sure of it, as he starts down there currently in 7th position. Not very long now to the race start. 23 seconds as 13 drivers will try and book their place in the A final. It's going to be a tight one. There's a lot of top drivers here that will make their way up the order. So here we go, the lights are on. It's 10 seconds to go until this race gets underway. A 5-minute sprint race. Looks like they're going to get 6 laps of racing. It's not a lot of time to work with. 6 red lights are on. We're waiting for them to go out. Who will get the better start? Adam Sherpitt leads them away. And immediately Jan Lemmens trying to get to the inside. And a driver hasn't moved off the entry. Danny Chu hasn't moved off the start. But it looks, and now they have. As we go to the first corner, Jan Lemmens is going to take it around the outside. Adam Sherpitt, though, leading away. Diogo goes down the inside on Hugo. Fantastic from him. Jacob Eckrell getting there involved. Jacob on the inside. He wants to get to 3rd place here. Jacob, he's on the outside, though, for the next corner. And he doesn't quite make his take, but fantastic from Jacob there, staying in 4th. Peyton Fricker already up to 6th. Danny Chu now down the inside. Danny Chu did get off the line in the end. Adam Sherpitt defending the drivers into the first corner, into the first lap. Hugo Morales up to 2nd. Jan Lemmens had to settle for 3rd. Jacob Eckrell in 4th. What will Jacob do? Will Jacob stay with the drivers, or will he continue to drive? Now, there's a big gap between 4th and 5th, so something's happened further back as we see the drivers come through to complete the first lap. There's no contact at the moment. Fantastic racing by everybody. Clean racing is what we expect to see in the ACKs. Adam Sherpitt leads the way. 2nd place, Hugo Morales. Jacob Eckrell. Now, Jan Lemmens up to 3rd. Jacob Eckrell will sit in 4th position. In fact, Jacob did get through on that corner. Jacob is in 3rd. That is right. My timings were glitching. Peyton Fricker in 5th. David Rogers up to 7th. Igna, unfortunately, has dropped down to 8th at the moment. So Igna's got a great effort now to make his way up. Bill Tusnodis has made up 1 position. We got Mate Sheplo, who's fallen down to 11th. And Danny Chu still sitting in 12th. Danny Chu, an A finalist at the preseason. A Spa bandit from as far as we're concerned at the moment. Getting defended even for last position. As we fall down the order, Igna, you have to feel for him fall down the order, but he surely will make his way up after that fantastic qualifying. We got Jacob Eckrell setting the fastest first sector. He is on a mission here, Jacob. He wants to start as fast forward. And Jacob Eckrell gets overtaken there by Jan Lemmens. Jacob Eckrell's dropped down to 4th, on the 4th row for the final. Now, in the A split, we have Jim Parasis, who will be starting pole, so Adam Sherpitt has to beat a 51.495. He currently sits on a 51.746, which is not what you want to hear. As we see David Roger getting overtaken here. David Roger's going to get overtaken by Igna. And now he's to the outside. He's going to get switched back here. David Roger, there's a little bit of loading there, but he looks like he's down the inside. It looks good. We're trying to follow him through. No, David Roger holds position. He sort of defends that corner, but not too much. Bill Tusnodis just trying to get involved here. As we see Adam Sherpitt set in purple sectors now. Hugo Morales is trusting him to go forward. As we see David Roger is defending now for his position. And he's driving fantastically at the moment as we are following Igna at the moment. Igna going into the last corner. Will he get a better run out? He's following. Is he gaining? No, it's a very hard corner to get good switchback on. As we drive down to first corner, Igna's going to poke his nose out. David Roger does cover it off eventually. Fantastic racing here from the two. Will David defend it? David doesn't defend it. They go in. Is there going to be any contact? No, there's not for now. But he's going around the outside. David Roger keeps the position for now. He's defending all the way. It's 1 minute 50 to go as we see action behind as well. Mate Sheplo getting involved there, trying to overtake for 10th. David Roger defending for 60. He knows this is A final worthy. This is an A final worthy time. He doesn't want to mess it up. As we see, what is that? Jan Lemmens going into 2nd. There's a bit of contact. Jacob Eckrell now defending. Peyton Fricker looking to go. Will he go for the inside dive? No, he won't. He will go with Jacob Eckrell. Will we see 2 Frickers in the A final at the moment? So we're following Hugo Morales, following in 3rd. Surely now he wants to settle for 3rd here. He wants to make the A final. Don't take any risks. David Roger still defending from Igna. This is a fantastic battle. The battles we want to see in the ACK. He goes to the middle of the track, and it's a very hard track to overtake. And Bill's trying to get involved. He's going to push onto the grass. No. And Igna's losing ground now to David Roger. David Roger can almost open up the kart here. And David Roger still chooses to defend. This is fantastic racing. Exactly what we want to see. Bill's noticed. Now, if he can make it through, it was a little bit of load in there. And David Roger is going to keep the position. But Bill Sodas now is down the inside of Igna. And he's a little bit defending there. And Bill Sodas is into 7th. And David Roger has the gap he needs. Peyton Fricker still maintaining 5th position there on the screen. Matej Sheplow's made it through the order now, and he's making his way towards this fight. As Igna's going to be frustrated by losing that position. You see the fantastic McLaren Golf livery on that car in front. We head into turn 1. It's a sweeping right-hander. There's no space he can leave on the inside, surely. And he chooses to not defend. Very risky tactic. Igna now going to the outside, using all the track. You can use the grass in this track. You can use it as we come through now. Now, Adam Sherpitt, will the checker flag go? It looks like, yes, we are on the final lap. So Adam Sherpitt on a 51.7, it's not good enough to start pole for the A final. So Jim Paris, the champion, could be starting the A final in first if Adam cannot make it on this last lap of great lap time. Adam, we're waiting for the last lap time. Then will Adam Sherpitt start first? And he doesn't. Jim Paris will start first for the A final, as Adam Sherpitt will start second. Jan Lemons coming through in second. We'll have to check if Diogo or Jan will have the inside line, but we know for a fact that Jim Paris, the season 1 champion, will be starting in P1. Wow, what a fantastic race there from David Roger. Shout out to him. What a fantastic bit of defending from him. And he put Igna under pressure, and Bill unfortunately just got down the inside. You know, Igna loaded David Roger forward to say, hey, I'm trying to work with you here maybe. But will that push Igna into the B final? We don't know. Matej Sheplo in 9th place. Fantastic from him, and he will be making his way forward in the B final, I'm sure. You have to feel for Danny Chu. He had a fantastic preseason event, but he couldn't quite make it in this race. But he will be one to make his way up order in the B final. So that's your lot. We're going to go away now. We're going to work out the B and A finals for you, and we'll bring you the B final next on ACK. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are here for the B final for the first race of 2 races here on the ACK, and it's just 50 seconds to go until the start of the race here at Daytona Sandown. We've seen 2 fantastic races already, with Jim Paris has taken pole for the A final, but we'll see that later in a much longer A final as we have the slightly shorter B final. Now, 2 drivers from this race will go to the A final. So there's all to play for, championship points to be won here, as we see Matej Sheplo will be starting on the front row with Mikola Flashenko. 2, once again, fantastic drivers. They will want to make that A final. It's all to play for. Saeed Hassan did not set a qualifying lap time, but he is a championship regular, so he will want to make it to the front of that B final and make it to the A final. We are here. It's 6 red lights ready for the B final. Our first final of the ACK season is underway, and we're off, and it looks like Matej Sheplo, Mikola hasn't connected on time by looks, as we see Matej Sheplo go to the lead. Fantastic for Matej to get to that lead so early as we head towards the first corner. There's a spinner at the back. It's all going on the back there as the front 2 go ahead. Hector coming around the corner. Hector got very unlucky in the race as he defends for second here as we go through the first lap. Zach following in 5th. Matej Sheplo defending that first lap. There are 2 joke laps in this race, do not forget. Will the drivers use it? As we see Watts in the back, he hasn't got off the line, unfortunately. As we see Matej Sheplo still defending for that first lap. Now, drivers cannot pit on the first lap of the race, and they have to remember, do not cross that white line. If they cross the white line, they will have a big penalty, as it's all fighting off down the back. We expect no drivers to come in on this first lap. Matej Sheplo will lead the drivers over. Matej Sheplo, the pressure's on him at the moment as we see the drivers come through. Fantastic racing at the front. They know 2 spots are up for the A final as we follow on board with Hector. Hector now, he got very unlucky in his sprint race with the defending of David Roger in front. David Roger did, however, make the A final in doing that. As we see Matej Sheplo, he's got a big gap now up front. Matej Sheplo still defending despite the fantastic gap he has made. Now, Matej Sheplo, all he wants to do now is drive away with this. Dennis Hockenwood is down the inside. He did do a bit of loading there, but he gets through. We do need to review that back, I'm sure, as Matej Sheplo down racing out in front. Dennis up to second as Zach goes through with a big dive bomb there to come up to 3rd. Now, will Hector start? Then Hector, there's another driver on the inside there. Oh, Harry Power. Surely Hector now starting to think about, is a pit stop worth doing? As we come through, nobody pits at the moment. There are no pit stops here. As we still see no pit stops indeed. There's 1 driver through. We can see it's Noah Sparks. Noah Sparks doing the pit stop. As we say pit stop, it's a cut through, as however you want to pronounce it. Noah Sparks will come out. He'll come out in the back, but he will expect to make his way forward. Now, don't forget, drivers, you have to make 2 joker laps in this race. As we see drivers fly across the line. Fantastic racing so far, I will say. So, where are we? Matej Sheplo bring a fantastic lead out there in first. He will want to now drive away with this race, and we expect him to. As we see 2 spots for the A final to be taken. Now that was a crazy race start. We'll say, no, there's more contact there. As Hector's getting pushed again. Saeed Hassan there trying to get involved, and he can't quite. Hector must be very frustrated with that at the moment, as we see no pit stop still. Nobody's going for their joker laps. As no, we do see a driver go through there. Who was it? It's Bean. Bean coming through the pit lane. Where will he come out? It's going to be tight as it's Georgie 11 in front. He's going to get the run down the inside. Georgie 11 tries to defend. He doesn't quite get there. Victor Stanchev now getting involved. Victor Stanchev, a ACK coordinator. You know he will be racing clean out of anybody here. As Matej Sheplo extends his lead to 1.2 seconds on track. Fantastic to see from him at the moment. He will, for gladly sure, try and make that A final and make his way up. As we see all sorts of action here. Victor Stanchev going for the switchback down the inside. He does make it work. Fantastic, as Neck now is going to get involved from the back. Neck, as I said earlier, he was nervous going into this. He thought his pace was not there. But he is up there with these drivers who are ACK regulars. As Victor, George Ilev holds on to 7th there. Fantastic racing. As Neck now down the inside. He's not going to get the run he wants. Noah Sparks behind, but he has done a joker lap. And once again, no joker laps from the drivers behind at the moment. Fantastic racing at the moment as we see George Ilev just lead this little pack away. Matej Sheplo with a fastest lap of 52.1. Now, there are points for fastest lap overall in this championship, and if a driver can pull off a fastest lap time than an A final driver, that would be impressive, I would say. But we would expect the driver in the A final to be the one, and especially a gold division driver making that fastest lap, as we see lots of contact down the inside there from Hector. Hector, though, does manage to hold on. He is fighting back. The fiery Hector, the fiery Spaniard. We see, there's someone taking track limits. It's all over the place here. Hector now's dropped back again. Saeed Hassan up to 3rd position now. We're seeing it's some amazing racing here. Surely Jan Lemmers is going to be watching this and thinking, what's going on? So we see drivers coming to the pit lane. We see 3 Joker laps here. And there's a low into the wall here. It's almost comedic, the contact we're seeing here. As they're fighting through the pit lane, it's all going off. Fantastic racing, but almost comedic in his entry. As we see Saeed Hassan now into 3rd place, he is going to be chasing down Dennis Okomodes for that spot in the A final. As we're already a quarter through this race, we have seen so much action already. These drivers are fighting for points, and they need the points in the championship. It's a long 10-round championship. There are, however, 2 drop rounds for those drivers who don't quite get it right in these races. And you're going to expect some of these drivers to come back in the future and be fighting for those A finals. So, what are we seeing at the moment? We're seeing Neck up in 8th position. Fantastic from him so far, but he will want to make his way forward, and I'm sure he's a very new driver to this championship. He will want to make his way towards the A finals in the future. So let's go from the top then. Matej Sheplo leading the race. Still, his fastest lap is a 52.1. We see Dennis Okomodes in 2nd. A fastest lap from Saeed Hassan, who's the first driver to break the 51s with a 51.847. 2 tenths quicker than the driver in front. So he will be making his way up. George Elev in 4th. Bean Ward in 5th, but he has yet to make his Joker stop. This is the phase of the race where we're not sure what is going on, who's done how many Joker laps, but so long as they finish 2 of them, we will be happy. We're seeing some very interesting racing here. Hector will be frustrated moving back. Once again, he's had a fantastic performance today, but he's been very unlucky with some of the things that's happened to him. As we see now drivers come through, it looks like Saeed Hassan is once again going faster. He is chasing down Dennis Okomodes for that spot in the A final. He will be so frustrated. We saw a joke lap there from Bean Ward, surely his 2nd of the day. We're not sure. Harry Power fighting, holding on there for 9th position. It's been some fantastic racing here. As we see it fly out the pit lane there, Bean Ward, you get a real... This is one of the only tracks on the calendar where you actually come... The pit stop is before the timing line, so you actually see drivers come over to start another lap. As we see Saeed Hassan and Hector receive warnings for their driving on track. Now, Jan Lemmers is keeping a close eye on this race, I'm sure. We see Victor, another race coordinator, in this race, so we know it is Jan Lemmers and possibly Pierre watching this final with their close eye and seeing who is going to be challenging them in that A final. We're going to see some very exciting racing in this A final as well. So many great drivers, and Jim Paris is trying to defend his ACK title, but who will be the 2 drivers joining him in that final? We're seeing defending here, defending from Hector. Hector holding on to it once again. He's watched plenty of defending today already from David Roger. David Roger making the A final through defending Hector. Through most of the sprint race, it was only 5 minutes long, but fantastic scene. Harry Power goes for the switchback here, and he's got to be down the inside, surely. There's a bit of contact, he's closing them off. A crazy move, I would say. Got enough in him, we're not sure, and he doesn't hold on. Harry Power does stay down the inside, a little bit of contact there, but he definitely invited it. Harry Power up into 9th position. There's lots of loading here, and we're seeing down the inside. And he spun. Hector has spun. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Hector's been through it all today, I would say, and the spin was on the last on my list, I would say, at the moment. He will be very frustrated at that, but there are points to be made here, and there are going to be surely so many more mistakes in the next 10 minutes. We see Victor Stanges go from Zach. Did he watch the briefing? That's the big question, because we see him go over the line. He could result in a penalty. There are time penalties that could be applied after this race for people who do not commit to the joke laps. It would be Bean Ward now. Bean Ward, there's a bit of contact there, but we're going down. Out in front though, it's Matej Sheplo. He is leading this race by quite a way now. It's fantastic to see from him after such a lucky B final. Dennis Okomodes is holding on, but Saeed Hassan is closing down on Dennis. We're seeing some fantastic laps from, at the moment, Saeed Hassan. Another fastest lap from him last lap with a 51.720, and he's matched it again this lap with a 51.743. He is doing consistent 51.7s, which is great. As we see Saeed, actually, Saeed does go up to... No, Saeed does stay third at the moment. We're watching the timing line on the left-hand side, and some fantastic racing going on ahead as well. So, let's catch our breath here. We're halfway through the race. Matej Sheplo leading, Dennis Olkamoyes in second, Saeed Hassan in third with his fastest laps, George 11 fourth, Zach has done Joker laps and he is in fifth, so will he make his way up the order? We're seeing Bean with right now, who is defending Harry Power, I believe, for position. No, Harry Power is chasing down with Mikala behind him. Mikala is a lap down, but Zach is chasing 10th. We believe Noah Sparks has done 2 Joker laps, and Hector, unfortunate for Hector, he started quite far forward, but he's only finished. He's only gone and spun it on the... We're following now Bean Ward. He's following Victor Stanchev. Victor Stanchev, an ACK coordinator. He will want to keep this clean as we go into the corner, and they're taking... It's probably the better for this track, but you can see drivers maybe thinking about move down the inside and trying to benefit from it. So, with 10 minutes to go, we're racing down Denzel Olkamoyes now. Every single lap, he's taking 2 tenths out of him each time, and I think they're on the back of each other now. And fantastic fight at the front, but we're seeing Zach now defending for position here from Victor Stanchev. Victor Stanchev will be keen to get through, tries to go for the switchback, but he gets covered off. Now this will bring Bean... Fantastic so far, but will he get the move done? That's a big question. And Zach goes defensive, and defending again. Victor Stanchev, Bean Ward's being brought into this race all the time. Outside, fantastic. As we contact on the outside, we see contact. Bean Ward goes through. There's going to be an investigation into that, I'm sure, as Victor Stanchev stays 6th. Who was at fault there? We're seeing all sorts of racing in this B final, all sorts. I can't even keep up with it myself. Will Yanni Lemons apply any penalties to these drivers? That's the big question, as I am not on the decision committee for this race. We're seeing another fastest lap there from Saeed Hassan now, a 51.5. Now he is pushing for that A final. Dennis Olkamoyes, not very far behind. And drivers now just on their different alternate strategies, waiting to get through. This is one of the only tracks where the Joker lap is actually faster than so you'd expect to see various different strategies being played out. But for drivers like Matej Sheplo, all Matej's got to do here is just stay in front and go as late as he can, I'm sure. As we see Saeed on, at least on my timings here, he's moved up into 2nd place. Is that true? It's looking good, but this could have been down to a Joker lap. As we see from the server admin, Bean Ward, please return a position to Victor. Now, Bean Ward, will he have read that message? I'm sure you'll get multiple chances to see it. Bean Ward doesn't look like he's slowing down at the moment. As he does slow down, he lets Victor through. Now, that's interesting. As now we carry on. Fantastic. Amazing respect there from Bean Ward to uphold that. But Victor immediately goes defending. He is not having any of it. He has gone at the moment as we see them come through the final section of the track and into the next section. We have seen some amazing races. It's great to see that we're officially these races well. So, where are we? Matej Sheplo still in the lead. We're waiting almost now to see how the strategies play out. We expect Martin to go late, but Saeed Hassan is up in the 2nd position. And let's move down the order, shall we? We got Matej Sheplo from Saeed Hassan, Dennis Olkamoyes, George Elev then in 4th, Victor Stanchev is in 5th, and we're seeing the fantastic fight here between Victor and Bean Ward. We're not sure on the Joker laps of these drivers at the moment, but then looking down the order, we've got Neck in 8th. He'll be happy with that, a mid-B final for him in his first ACK appearance. He'll be very happy with that sort of result. Noah Sparks in 9th. We got Hector in 10th. Hector will be very frustrated by his performance, but I'm sure he'll come back soon. Harry Power in 11th. Danny Chu. Now, Danny Chu is a driver you have to feel for, the Monegascan driver. He had a great time at the preseason test. He had a great lap time and he moved through it was so well driven from him. But to be down there at the moment, he will hang his head, I'm sure. So we'll have to hear from Danny Chu at some point on how his performance went. And Mikala did start pole for the B final, but it looks like he couldn't connect on time. We'll have to ask him how that went because, you know, starting first for the B final. You'd expect to win it. He did deserve almost to make that A final. He was the next best driver who didn't make the A final. It's quite frustrating stuff from him. So to be down there, he's going to be very disappointed. I'd even say this probably one of his drop rounds in the championship. As we go, and Vito Montane, another driver who should be pretty disappointed at the moment. How that flashes out. Mate Sheplo looks like he's under pressure now by Sad Hassan as we join the lead of this race. This is what we've been waiting for. And Mate Sheplo is defending. Now, this is a three-way battle for 2 places in the B final. One of these drivers will miss out. This is the fight we are looking for at the moment. And Mate is defending. Now, has been the fastest driver by quite a distance the whole time. And it's been fantastic to see. But Said Hassan now is pressuring Mate. Mate going defensive, really defensive, almost white lining in kart around the track as we go into the final section of the track. Now that barrier on the inside is deadly if he hits that pace as we see him come around the final corner. Mate Sheplo hanging on for dear life. He's defending down the straight. We're seeing so much racing here, and he's been slowed down, Said Hassan there. I think he's pushed Mate through, but Dennis now down the inside. Dennis now goes into second. This is fantastic racing for the top 2, the bottom 2 places, should I say, for the A final. And there's only 4 minutes to go. We don't believe these drivers have done their Joker laps. Mate Sheplo surely now going to put the defensive hat back on any minute now. No, we're seeing Dennis now. He's keeping that distance. You'd want to back the driver up as far as you could and then go forward because you want to secure that spot in the B final. And once you make the B final, it's gloves off for that A final. So here we go with 4 minutes to go. It looks like we're going to get about 4 laps of racing left. We'll get to 21 laps in this B final as to start another lap. Mate Sheplo now will be starting to think about it. He goes defensive. There's kart lengths, there is bus lengths between him and Dennis, and he's defending. Now that is an interesting strategy. It's going to slow him down, especially if he gets the run through. As we come round, and he's still defending. He has no confidence. Now, the mirror on these cards actually is a lot closer in person, so maybe he sees. You are absolutely fine, Mate. You can go ahead, mate. Honestly, Dennis is not keeping up enough for you to defend at the moment. Will he defend around the back straight? That's the big question as we come through. Said Hassan looks like he has done a joke lap. Mate, he doesn't defend. He sort of half. No, he doesn't defend. Absolutely. We see no joker laps yet. We're seeing no joker laps from the top 2. Said Hassan though looks like he has done a joker lap. He has dropped behind. As we come through now to start another lap, and he defends. Look at the gap between the top 2, and they're still defending. It's fantastic to see, but you can't help but feel that Mate hasn't particularly wanted to do this sort of defending, and he goes through. Now it's time to defend. Dennis is right on the back of Mate. Going through. How are we looking? Mate Sheplo leading this race. And he's still going semi-defensive at the moment. We're just... No, here we go. We're waiting now. Will the drivers come in for a joker lap? That's what we're waiting for here. Will there be a joker lap from the leaders? And Mate hits the wall, and he's into the wall, and I don't even know how to describe what I've just seen there. As he's hit the wall, and Dennis has gone through. I'm not sure what to say about that, but Said Hassan looks like he's just been handed a spot in the A final. I mean, you have to feel for Mate if that's true. If that's what's just happened right there, that's amazing. Dennis immediately go. I'm lost for words of what's just happened there. I'm completely lost for words. But these two, they're fighting. They can go ahead now. It looks like it's good enough. As Mate Sheplo is behind. He must be kicking himself for that. It's George 11 4th at the moment. That's a interesting thing that's just happened there. I'm not sure how to even cover that, to be honest with you. But how I at least understand it is Mate Sheplo has hit the barrier on the entrance to the Joker Lab. As we see now, the drivers come through, and it looks like Said Hassan, he's fighting with Dennis. These two can make they'll both make the A final if they finish in position. As we see, not sure what to think about that one. We see a bit of lag here, as everybody seems to have left the server at the moment, and we're just reviewing what's just happened there. We are still reviewing. We are not sure if this is a broadcaster fault or on the server. It looks like the server is Is the server still going? That's a big question. The server is, in fact, still running. So I will bring you coverage of the server whilst we still have it. It seems like the broadcaster is the one that has timed out here. Just checking. Yes, so I can give you commentary on the road here, and it's like Dennis Locomotives is still defending from Saeed Hassan. This is okay for them. They've already made the A final. There's no reason to fight for them to. But we see a bit of contact from them again. Saeed Hassan clearly wants to start on the inside for the A final. Fantastic to see. Fantastic racing. Now, Mate Shefler will be so disappointed with that third as we're rejoining the server now. I've still got it live here. And Dennis Locomotives is still leading. Saeed Hassan looks like he's down the inside. Can't tell. And looks like, yes, Saeed Hassan has taken the lead. He has taken the lead here. And he's on the inside at least. We're waiting for the broadcaster to join back here. Sorry for these. More of a radio show we've turned into now here on the ACK broadcast. But we will be back in any second now as we see it's the final lap of the race. And it's a fight for the lead up front. And it's Dennis Locomotives who's leading. And Saeed Hassan's down the inside. They don't have to fight for too long now. There's only a couple of corners left. Dennis Locomotives holds on to that spot in first as we head around the final few corners. Will he defend that last corner? It's the last lap of the race as they come in front of Dennis Locomotives will make the A final with Saeed Hassan finishing second. They both will be in the A final. Fantastic again, Mate Sheplo. I have no words. You know, leading the whole race. He led almost 20 minutes, and in the end, we need to find out if he has any onboard footage of that because we need to see. At least from our understanding, he's hit the barrier on the entrance to the corner. So very unlucky stuff there, I would say. But we saw, let's look back through the order before we end this. We got Zach in fourth. Zach, unlucky effort from him today, but a great effort at the same time. Bean Ward in fifth. Neck, he should be very happy with that sixth position. Harry Power down in seventh. Very unlucky in the sprint race, I'll say Harry Power. Victor Stanchev from the back moves up to eighth. Great result really for him considering he started so far back. Noah Sparks in ninth. Danny Chu 10th. Beta Montane 11th with Mykola Vlashenko, who was due to start pole in the B final, starting 12th. Now, we will see Dennis and Saeed Hassan in the A final. And that was a fantastic race, I will say. And we'll see them in the A final now and see how far they can go forward. So, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back for the A final and wrap up today's racing. Hello everybody again and welcome to the A final. We made it to the last race of the day. It's been a fantastic day of racing, I'd say, at Daytona Sandown. So many drivers, so well practiced, I would say, at the moment. We've got an A final here for you. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the final, so let's just run you through the order. Starting from the bottom, we've got the two winners of the B final, Saeed Hassan and Dennis Olkimoides, who were fighting right to the line. That's fantastic to see, you know, and hopefully they'll be fine their way up the order in this race. In 13th, we got Jeff Fricker making the A final. I'm so happy for Jeff Fricker, to be honest with you, and he deserves to be in that A final. Next up, we got Bill Tusnodis, and he deserves to be in that A final, absolutely, but he has had to drive very hard to get there. Next up, we got David Roger. Now, David Roger in 11th place. He has done fantastically himself, and he defended like a lion in that race to make position. Next up, Harley Smith. Harley Smith will feel a little bit hard done by in 10th position. Feel like his Super 4 could have gone a bit better, but he will be making his way up the order, I'm absolutely sure. Next up, 9th position, we got Gabriel Quinter. Gabriel Quinter will want to make his way forward in this race as well. He will be hungry alongside Jacob Eckriel. Jacob Eckriel starting in 8th position. Diego Arrivo in 7th. In 6th, we got Hugo Morales. Nico Titch in 5th. Yanni Lemons in 4th. On the outside to Pierligio, who is starting 3rd, the kart creator. In 2nd, though, we've got Adam Sherpitt. Now, Adam Sherpitt is on the outside for this race start. Now, what will happen going into that first corner? Can he tuck in on the inside? Will he get a good start? And in 1st position is the current champion of ACK, and he will look to make another win in the ACK. It's Jim Paris. Now, everybody put Jim Paris as his favourite going into this first race, and we're going to see, hopefully, another amazing Jim Paris performance in this race. It's been fantastic to see already. Look at how many drivers are on this grid, and it's the A final. It's the best final. This is the final you want to be in to score the points. This is where we're going to see the most drivers and most racing, the most action. Anything you can think of, it's going to be in this race. So, with just 30 seconds to go, we are waiting for the race start here. Will some drivers go early on the Joker laps? Will they go late? We're not sure here on the broadcasting what's going to happen, but it's going to be something to look at. 20 seconds to go. Surely the drivers in front are thinking, picking how are they going to get around that first corner? How are they going to survive it? We're hoping to see no contact, but you can never be guaranteed in these A finals. People want to win these races. So, here we go. It's 10 seconds to go. The lights are on. We're heading into the last race of the day. It's the A final here at the ACK. We're ready, and the race will start now. Jim Paris leads us away for the A final. Adam Sherpitt tries to go to the inside. Pierligio will maintain position here. They've got to drive down the outside. David Roger chooses to go right down the outside. Lots of contact coming up on the screen. At the moment, Jim Paris will lead us through the first corner with an amazing lead. And Pierligio flying through into second. Nico Titch trying to go with him as we go into the corner. Will the drivers in the middle hold it out, though? You will score good points no matter where you finish in the A final, so don't risk it as we see everyone go to the inside. Jim Paris is fantastic. And we see Jake Recker on the wall there. Jake Recker moving back to last position. Unfortunate for him, so he has dropped down the order. Jim Paris is now going for the lead, and Pierligio is following him. Pierligio challenging immediately, wants to get it done early here as we see all sorts of fighting down the back. Gabriel Quinter managing 8th position. Yanni Lemons now down to 10th. He will be so frustrated with that race start. We need to see. He was starting on the outside, and the outside is the bad place to start. Jim Paris though leads us around the final corner as he leads the first lap of this A final. What a fantastic start. Nico Titch in 3rd as we see some defending for 4th here. I know we've seen a bit of contact at the back. Harley Smith getting involved there. Jeff Fricker though finishing 15th. We see Dennis Olkimoides in 16th. Hasn't made his way forward at the moment. Across the line though, Jim Paris leads from Pierligio Desante. Nico Titch in 3rd. Adam Sherpitt 4th. Diego Arrivo 5th. Peyton Fricker in 6th. Hugo Morales 7th. Yanni Lemons back up to 8th. With Ignar in 9th. Bill Snodis in 10th. Harley Smith in 11th. We see Saeed Hassan in 12th. Fantastic +5 positions in that first lap alone. The fastest first sector as well. Saeed Hassan's on a mission tonight. Fantastic. Jacob Eckriel though dropped down to 13th. Bad from him. David Roger 14th, Jeff Fricker 15th, Dennis Olkimoides in 16th, and Gabriel Quinter, the Portuguese rookie, in 17th position at the moment. He will surely he's going to go for an early stop here to try and make his way forward. So, as we see Jim Paris leading us now into the 3rd lap of the race. Pierligio, Nico Titch is starting to catch Pierre now. The championship challengers of last season, continuing their charge into this season. Nobody can challenge them at the moment, and it's fantastic to see as Adam Sherpitt takes the fastest lap with a 51.971. And don't forget, there is points for those positions, for those fastest laps as well. So we want to see drivers at the moment getting fastest laps. As we see a fight here for 5th with Diogo Rivo in 6th position, with Peyton Fricker now up to 5th. Peyton Fricker, the British driver, in 5th position, and what is basically a local track to him, but I don't think he should have much Daytona Sandown. Trying to wrap my brains here, Jan Lemons has actually recovered now to 6th position. Fantastic from Jan, as Hugo Morales is taking his joker lap at the moment. I wasn't sure if it caught my eye there a little bit that he might have actually crossed the white line. Now, Hugo Morales hopefully reading the briefing and seeing that, you know, you can't be taking that white line. It was in the briefing to not take the white line. Frustrating, I know. We'll follow that indeed. But we see Adam Sherpitt now fighting Nico Titch for that podium. There's a bit of contact there. He fires him forward. So Adam Sherpitt will have to settle for 4th at the moment. As we look down the order, there's all sorts of fighting. It's been a fantastic A final so far. As we come through the corner, Peyton Fricker though in 5th position. I'm astounded by what a fantastic performance from Peyton. He's an experienced sim racing driver from what I believe speaking to him, but to be in 5th position amongst these drivers, fantastic. So looking at all, we can see any joker laps this lap. I don't think we will. It's looking good though at the moment, as we see Jim Paris will lead us through into lap 5. What a fantastic, and Jim Paris actually takes the best lap with a 51.536 on that last lap as well. The front is thinning down a little bit here, as we see Diogo Rivo now defending ever so slightly from Igna in that 8th position, and Harley Smith now getting involved in 9th. Harley Smith now into the top 10. Speaking to Harley, I'm sure he would want to be in the top 5. Can he still do that? That's the question. As we see, the field is slightly spreading out now. Hugo Morales, Jacob Echo on 11th. Jacob will be very disappointed with his race start. We need to see what happens as we go for the overtake there. Igna, fantastic overtake, but is he going to keep it? It looks like Diogo Rivo. No, he does. Igna does keep it. Fantastic, but they're going to duel now down the back straight. It's a dice to the first corner. Diego's going to turn it, and he stays in position. Fantastic racing. Absolutely, and Harley Smith is going to get involved as we see a joker lap there from Jacob Echo. Jacob Echo will come out, but back into the action, and it's a safe stop from him. Fantastic to see. Jeff Fricker does tuck in nicely behind Jacob. Bit of British etiquette there to stay ahead. Fantastic. Diego Riva though, will he defend going into this second hairpin? And he doesn't, but he doesn't think about the move either. Igna, there's going to be a little bit of fighting here as we go into the corner, and he does defend that corner, Diogo. He wants to maintain 7th. You know, all the points matter in this championship, as we see Pierre Lijo takes the fastest lap now with a 51.5. The fastest lap will matter to him, I'm sure. As we see more fighting now from Diogo. They're not working together. They want the position. There is no teamwork here whatsoever, and you wouldn't expect it either in the A final with 19 minutes to go before the checkered flag. As we come through now, we're going to start lap 6 of this race. It's been a fantastic race so far, but Jim Paris has now opened up a 1 second gap to Pierre Lijo. As we look down the order, the order is still thinning out ever so slightly, as we see drivers just, in their own sort of pack at the moment, not really fighting each other, but apart from this fight right here, which is Diogo Rivo. But even there, it's sort of starting to calm down, but now starting to understand that, yes, the early phase of the race is gone, and now they're looking to just stay in that midfield and just stay and try and score as many points as they can. So, where are we? Jim Paris is leading from Pierre Lijo de Sante. Nico Titch in 3rd. Nico Titch surely wants to finish in the top 2 here. He could even take the win with some good laps, but he has unfortunately down to a 2 second gap now to the leader. Jim Paris is running away with it, and the only driver who can challenge him is Pierre Lijo. He's made the car. He knows this car better than anybody else, I'm sure. As we head through the first, once again, sweeping right-hander. Daytona said that not many names for these corners, not many iconic names either, so we got to refer to them as turn numbers as we see Peyton Fricker now. Peyton Fricker is starting to put the pressure on Adam Sherpitt for. This is fantastic to see. Now, you wouldn't have put Peyton Fricker down as a championship challenger from the get-go here, but we are seeing it as Jan Lemons in 6th positions also catching up. If Nico Titch decides to defend, we're going to have a race on our hands for the last 18 minutes of this race. As we see Peyton Fricker now coming through to that long straight on the back corner. Nobody using the grass, interestingly, at the moment. The grass is a possible option on this track, as it doesn't seem to hinder drivers from what we noticed in testing. So, Crossing the line once again. We're now on to lap 8 of this A final. It's a long final, but I'd say we're heading through now, as we got 17.5 minutes left. It's a long race for these drivers, especially in particular Saeed Hassan and Dennis Okomoides, who will have come up from the B final. They've already done 20 minutes of driving. So what would you want to do more? Jump in for the A final. But there are points to be won. That's the important thing here. Gabriel Quinter in 4th position. He'll be disappointed with his race start. Can he make his way up the order? That is the big question. Jacob Eckel starting to make his way back through in 11th. You know, if he can just consistently put down the laps down, maybe he can bring back a good position here. Jim Paris, though, absolutely fantastic out in the lead. But we got to shout out Peyton Fricker with the fastest lap of that last lap. 51.424. Absolutely fantastic from him. So we're going to see another lap now. Will the fastest lap go? Jan Lemons actually has overtaken for now Peyton Fricker, as I believe one of them took a joker lap. As we're seeing Diego, now we're seeing lots of working together here. Diego Rivo definitely working together with Igna to try and just make it up that order. If the moment we see Nikotic start defending, we're going to see a very interesting end to this race, I'm telling you. Harley Smith in 9th position at the moment. British driver, local track, Team Sport Bristol in real life. Very, very popular track amongst many members down there, and he surely will be taking a lot of his experience from his indoor karting and he in real life. So will he be able to make it past Igna here? In fact, let's follow Harley Smith now, because Harley Smith is making his way down the back straight, and Igna is defending Harley Smith in for his pit stop. Slightly over the white line there, but I think he'll get away with that one. Okay, very, very on the line. Now the briefing does say absolutely no crossing that white line, so it's difficult to suggest what they're going to give for the penalties here. It's a very tight pit entry, we will say, so surely there's got to be a little bit of leniency there. But if Harley Smith can catch up to Igna now, he can make the overtake through the other drivers in front, taking their joker laps. But we're seeing a big lack of joker laps in the midfield at the moment. You'd expect them to go for earlier laps, as Peyton Fricker has taken a joker lap. Now he's catching Jan once again. And will Jan defend, or will Jan understand that he cannot defend off somebody who's already pitted, because he will affect himself? As we come around, Peyton Fricker took the fastest lap, but now it's been taken back by Pierre-Eligio de Sante at 51.3. The tyres are on fire now on track, I'm sure, as we see drivers setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Now there is points for the fastest lap, so the drivers will want to get that, as we see Pierre-Eligio still sit only just 1.4 seconds off Jim Paris as the current champion of the ACK after 10 minutes of racing. Now that is fantastic to see, as we enter almost the halfway point in this race. We've still got many positions to be acquainted with, as Gabriel Quinter sitting down in 14th still at the moment. As we look towards the back, we have Saeed Hassan, who has dropped down the order, but he's on the same lap. It looks like he's done 2 joker laps, so maybe he's playing the long game with this. And Bill Tusnodis in 16th position. Dennis Okomoides, who came from the B final, winning that B final, only in 15th. Gabriel Quinter in 14th as well. Jeff Fricker, fantastic 13th. You have to question that as well, Jeff Fricker. But Peyton Fricker is the Fricker we're watching, as he is more further, as we see actually a joker lap. Let's see this on screen. We are watching now. Driver go through is Igna into the pits. Now he is hopefully going to jump. You'd expect him to jump Diego Rivo if he can get some laps done. Now he looks like he is the quicker driver, but we're yet to see it. So, where are we looking now? We are following, at the moment, Igna as he comes through. He needs to put down the good laps now. Jacob Eckrell, if he decides to defend, it could all come to an end for him in this race. As we look towards the back now, this is Bill Tusnodis. He's fighting Saeed Hassan. Saeed Hassan has actually got past Bill, but have they done their joker laps? That's the question, as we see no defending at the moment. The drivers at the back understanding that anything at the front could happen. We saw Matej Sheplo crash into the barrier in the B final and actually cost this whole race. So that's what they're expecting at the moment. Very smart driving from the back. Saeed Hassan, I must say, started the sprint race in last. So to make it to the A final, it does go to show that this format works, because he didn't have the time clearly to make qualifying, and he joined the qualifying. Well, too late, clearly. He couldn't do a super pole. He joined the race and came through to, well, win the B final, essentially, with the top 2 going through. And now he's in the A final, and you know, you got to question, how far can he go forward? Is there a top 10 in there for Saeed Hassan? And let's be honest, if he makes a top 10, absolutely fantastic result for him. He should be proud, because that's what it's all about, and that's why we've chosen the format for ACK. It rewards drivers who a little bit unlucky in qualifying can bring it back in the race. We are now following Peyton Fricker though, as he comes through to start lap 15 of his campaign here, ready for the championship. And you know, if he can get his practice together at other tracks, he can be challenger for this championship. Is this just a one-off for Peyton Fricker? But we saw a fantastic performance as well from him in the pre-season test. So you have to question, is this going to be Britain's best hope for the title this year at the moment? As next best hope, Harley Smith down in 8th position. But we have other drivers in this championship, such as Ben Paynes. Ben Paynes not here tonight, but he will be watching, I'm sure, as he will wish he's here tonight and racing, because talking to him, you know, he wants to win this championship. He's in a good mood to win it as well. We've got Jacob Eckel. Jacob Eckel now hasn't always lit up the timing sheets, but he's done well in his performances. You know, he's always up there in the training races. However, we're going to have to see a big step up from Jacob if he wants to be challenging for this title this season. For now, though, he is a silver tier driver, so you know, as a silver tier driver, you would expect these drivers to not be at the front, just be towards the front in the top 10, scoring the points to win their division. And Peyton Fricker now is actually on the inside of Adam Sherpitt. So Adam Sherpitt, you know, he's made a joke lap, and has that been a mistake? He's out behind Peyton Fricker now, and Peyton Fricker's defending. So this is where the race is going to turn on its head. As we're seeing drivers come through, we won't know until everyone's completed their joke laps what the true order is, but Adam Sherpitt surely is going to be very frustrated there. As we see a little bit of defending, not too much, but Harley Smith and Gabriel Quinter now are catching up. This is the phase of the race where we haven't got the information on who's done their joke laps. This map just does not support it. So we're going to have to wait to see where everybody comes out. But for now, we can say Yarley Lemons is leading this group of drivers with... in second place is Peyton Fricker. Peyton Fricker still sitting at 5th place. Adam Sherpitt now, though. Very important for him. So, we're coming through. It's just 10 minutes in this race. Jim Paris has opened the lead to 1.2 seconds. However, it's not going to be enough for Pierre Ligier at the moment. You know, these gaps, he needs a bigger gap, Jim Paris, and Pierre Ligier needs to close it as well if he wants to win this race. A 1 second gap might still be good enough. Adam Sherpitt, though, sitting in that 6th position, will he be happy with sitting in 6th? He will want to be in the top 3 of this race for the championship. So, here we go. Going down the back straight. Are we going to see any joke laps from these drivers? Any late joke laps? We see no joke laps. Oh, it's going to be they're going to leave it very late in this race. As we come through, Jim Paris is signing next lap. Pierre Ligier now down to 9/10 of a second off the race leader. Now that is interesting. Pierre Ligier still setting fastest laps. In fact, last lap he was 3/10 quicker than Jim Paris. 3/10 is huge at the moment for this. So, can Pierre Ligier take the win in this race? That's the big question at the moment. We're going to see the joke laps late on. That's something we're going to be following. Jim Paris, though, will he defend? That's the question. Pierre Ligier is on a storm at the moment. He's setting yet another 3/10 in the first sector alone on Jim Paris. Jim Paris seems to be falling apart. He's lost 6/10 in just about a lap and a half. As we see Pierre Ligier come in, Pierre Ligier does his joke lap. Now he will come out with momentum, and will he be able to catch up to Jim Paris this way? Jim Paris will have the advantage going into the final joke laps, clearly, as Pierre Ligier has gone first. Now Pierre Ligier has now reduced the gap to a 2.1 second gap. That's what the joke lap costs you. It looks like it costs around about 1 second. Nico Titch looks like he has also done his joke lap, so it's all down to Jim Paris now. Has Jim Paris got the chance to get ahead and stay ahead? Because Pierre Ligier at the moment is looking good. Jan Lemons in 4th position, still holding a Peyton Fricker and Adam Sherpitt. It's a clear top 6 at the moment, though, for the championship at the moment. It's fantastic to see. But we have many more drivers returning for round 2 of the championship, such as Matteo Infantani, fantastic driver in himself, and Ben Paynes. When Ben Paynes returns, it's going to get very interesting. And of course, Baptiste van der Beker, another fantastic driver. As we see Jim Paris is coming, he covers off Pierre Ligier, and he stays ahead. Pierre Ligier actually does his second joker lap. So it's all down to Jim now. Jim, we're going to be waiting for his last joke lap. Hopefully we can see it live, the redraw onto track, but we're going to be watching closely now for Pierre Ligier. He's 2.6 seconds. At the moment, that looks good enough to me. That looks good enough for Jim to win. Jim will win this race if he can have a clean joker lap. If he makes a mistake, though, it will be chaos, I'm sure. So, will Jim opt to go for the last joke lap here and lead the race to the end, or will he continue It looks like he's maintaining the gap at the moment. This first sector was actually up on Pierre Liggio as well, so he could safely come in here and come out in front, and he does. He comes into the Joker lap. This is for the lead of the race. It looks good so far. A little touch on the grass, but that's legal. Comes to the final corner, and he sends out the pit lane, and he keeps the lead. Jim Paris is the current champion of the ACK, keeping the lead and moving, hopefully, on his way to the first win of this second season of ACK. Whilst we have some downtime, let's talk about the ACK. If you want to get involved, please do share this stream. Thank you so much to Dunica for providing the stream. You know, we really appreciate his effort tonight in bringing the stream to you. You know, he puts up with everything we say as organisers, and yeah, it's been fantastic and honestly flawless so far. So big thank you to him, and of course the drivers on track, Jan Lemons. You know, he's put so much effort into this championship, and to see him up in 4th place, he said to me he doesn't even care where he finishes at the moment in these races. As long as they go well, that's all that matters to him. Tuning back into the action, we see Hugo Morales, who, again, you know, Hugo, we expect him to be a little bit further forward at the moment, but he hasn't been. And we do see Diego Rivo go in for his last Joker lap. And he comes round, it's looking good so far. Jacob Echo looks like he's going to get involved here with him as they rejoins the track, and it's going to be close, and Jacob does tuck in behind him. And that's his 2 Joker laps done as we go now down to the final section. And we're now down to the last 6 minutes of the first round of ACK. Nico Titch there in 3rd position. Looks like he just cannot challenge the top 2 at the moment as Pierre Liggio sets off to try and close that 1.3 now second gap to the race leader. And it does look like Pierre Liggio is catching though ever so slightly. Yanni Lemons now though starting to turn the heat up ever so slightly on Nico Titch. Will this cause Nico Titch to defend? At the moment it doesn't. It doesn't cause it. So Peyton Fricker will want Nico Titch to defend, but we are waiting for that to happen. We got a question. Looks like all Joker laps are done at the front now though. This is the top 6 in order, and with all Joker laps done, with Jim Paris is of course leading. Now pulling away slightly from Pierre Liggio on that last lap. Nico Titch 1.4 behind. Jan Lemons only 0.4. Will this cause Nico Titch to start defending? We don't know. And of course Peyton Fricker, fantastic in 5th there. Adam Sherpitt in 6th. Harley Smith though, 7th position. Has he finished all of his Joker laps? If he has, that is fantastic from him. We're not seeing a lot of faster sectors. A lot of people setting yellows. It looks like the tyres are starting to overheat in this race as the times are coming down. Looks like 2/10 have just fallen off at the moment. Nico Titch does set a personal best middle sector, so there's a little bit of time out to get, but everyone else is in the yellows. So looking down the order, Harley Smith in 7th, Hugo Morales 8th, Diego Rivo in 9th, Jacob Eckwill in 10th. Disappointing from Jacob Eckwill there. He expected to be further up. Igna in 11th. Got David Roger in 12th. Some fantastic defending that. I still can't forget that fantastic defending in his race. Jeff Fricker, fantastic from Jeff Fricker in 13th. And 14th, we got Saeed Hassan, the B final 2nd place driver. Bill Tusnodis in 15th. Dennis Oikomoidis in 16th, the B final winner. Unfortunately, not making his way forward. And Gabriel Quinta, the Portuguese rookie, in 17th position. Now, he'll be very disappointed with that, and he seems to be further behind. He must have had an issue on track. I can only think he's clearly hit a barrier at some point during that race. But let's head back towards the front here, as we see Jan Lemons actually comes in for his last Joker lap. Comes in, takes it clean, looking good so far, and he's going to rejoin what looks like alongside Adam Sherpa and Peyton Fricker now up to 4th place by looks. Jan Lemons is going to get the run down to turn 1. Will Peyton Fricker defend this? Peyton Fricker doesn't. He's not close enough yet, Jan Lemons, but what will happen to this corner is very close now, and no defending. Absolutely no defending. With only 3 minutes to go in this race. We are expecting big battles now. If everybody's Joker laps over, they don't know who's done their Joker laps, and we don't know either. Adam Sherpa though in 6th. We're waiting on this now. Peyton Fricker though, fantastic in 4th position, but surely he's got something else to take here. He doesn't look like he's defending. He's not particularly worried at the moment about Jan Lemons. Does this mean he has to pit? That's the question we've got to ask. And he doesn't, so it looks like he is going to race to the end here. Jim Parsons though, you've got to keep an eye on that. 1.2 seconds now with 3 minutes to go. Maybe Pierre Liggio is opening his account now for the race win. As we see everybody go across the line, Nico Titch, 3rd place, cannot challenge these top 2. The top 2 are absolutely fantastic racing at the moment. 2 gold division drivers who are fighting for the win. And Nico Titch, of course, the third place driver, also a gold driver. Peyton Fricker in fourth, a silver tier driver, but surely after this performance he is going to be guaranteed a gold driver. As we see Jan Lemons in fifth, another gold driver, a gold driver in sixth in Adam Sherpitt, and Harley Smith. Harley Smith, I think, looking good enough to make that gold spot after, at the moment, a fantastic seventh place, but we'll see where he finishes at the end. And Jake Veckrell, surely a campaign there for the gold division. As we see now everyone come to the last section of the track. What is the gap going to be going into the next lap? Pierre Ligeot is just trying to find anything he can find to catch that Jim Paris's runaway account, and he's not quite doing it. He's lost time on that lap. 1.4. What were the last laps? Jim Paris is with a 31.3. 31.3 on the last lap. Fantastic lap time from him after such a long time racing as well. You wouldn't expect that. So there's only 2 minutes to go in this race now, and it's looking fairly settled, I'd say, at the front at the moment. We see David Roger, though, overtake Jeff Fricker just further down the order. As now Peyton Fricker's still not worried about Jan Lemons, coming through there. And Peyton Fricker doesn't look worried at all, to be honest with him, at the moment. As now going to the back straight, and it's not defending yet as we go through. And we're starting probably the second to last lap now. So 1 minute 37 on the clock. Looks like we're going to get 2 laps of racing here. Jim Paris, the gap is now 2 seconds. Looks like Pierre Ligeot's made a mistake there, as he's dropped very far off there, I would say. And Nico Titch sitting there in third. Peyton Fricker in fourth. You've got to respect that performance, as Jan Lemons sitting in fifth. And Jan Lemons will be disappointed, but again, he doesn't mind where he finishes, so he tells me. I don't think I believe that at all. Adam Sherpitt, 6th place. Considering he was out there in the top 4, you'd be disappointed with 6th, but he was on the outside for the race start. As we come through, and it looks like this is going to be the last lap of the race. Jim Paris is 1.8 seconds up front, and it's a fantastic lead. Looking at 1.8 seconds in person, yes, it's a big lead to have. Jim Paris, he was our champion last season, winning 5 events in season 1. As already a fantastic figure to have, but now this season, with more drivers, more competition, more practice, more drivers this time have practiced more than ever. We're seeing 100 laps. As we see Nico Titch, actually, he's under pressure. Nico Titch, let's join back down in a minute. Nico Titch is under pressure from Peyton Fricker. Will Peyton Fricker get through here? Jan Lemons is going to come into it now. Who's going to come out on top here? This is for the podium. A silver tier driver, and Peyton Fricker then is defending. Jan Lemons going around the outside here. And will Jan Lemons get through? Peyton Fricker, he's got to manage himself now as he goes to the outside. He's got to cut off the inside. Yes, he does. Fantastic now. Nico Titch going around the inside. Will he defend? Yes, he will. Going into this lap. He's bit defending. Oh, he goes outside. Jan Lemons doesn't go for it. Peyton Fricker now going inside. And Jim Paris has won the race. Or has he? We're just looking. Yes, Jim Paris has won. And Nico Titch comes across third. And 4th place is fantastic. Peyton Fricker, 4th place. That is fantastic. Wow, what a 4th place from Peyton. You've got to shout him out. Jan Lemons in 5th. Oh, what a race from him. In 6th position, we saw Adam Sherpitt. Harley Smith in 7th. You have to. What an effort from Harley. He will be back again, I'm sure, for the next round, even better than last time. Hugo Morales in 8th place, with Diego Rivo in 9th. Jacob Eckwell in 10th, Igner 11th, David Roger 12th, Jeff Fricker 13th, Bill Snoders 14th, Saeed Hassan 15th, Denzel Gilmour 16th, and finally Gabriel Quinter in 17th position. So that's it from round 1 of the ACK. Thank you so much for joining us. From a personal note, I'm so glad this went ahead absolutely fine today. And we will be back for round 2, which is next Thursday. Round 2 at Vandel Go-Kart. So thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Keep your eyes on the ACK Discord. Feel free to join. Check out the Pierre Ligeot kart mod. And from everybody at the ACK team, we'll see you at round 2. Thank you so much. Goodbye.